Dennett, and name of my magazine is Harmony, which is there. They're the pictures I didn't use. In what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? My magazine uses many of the normal codes and conventions of any music magazine, including a masthead, main image, cover lines, barcode and price, which is mostly essential for creating a successful magazine. My magazine was inspired by this issue of Top of the Pops. I tried to follow the design and the contents of the magazine very closely. After much research, I discovered that there's a lack of these types of magazines in the market after the termination of smash hits. I took advantage of this and challenged myself to create the newest pop magazine. How does your media product represent particular social groups? The social groups I was looking to attract was young females aged 11 to 17. To successfully appeal to them, I needed to create a very pop theme, fun and bubbly. Pop is a very limited genre, not very diverse, and only appeals to a younger age. People who are at the beginning of discovering their music interests and becoming an individual. I feel my magazine has represented this social group well, being fun, bubbly, fairy tale-like, loud and cheesy. The images I use reflect these all well, using lots of soft colours, pinks, yellows and purples, the striking poses, heavy makeup and cheesy grins. I wanted to create a role model for young girls, and I feel I have achieved this. Throughout the magazine, I have used a very informal, chatty way of writing, allowing the reader to feel involved and making it seem like they are talking to a friend. This, I feel, is what my aim social groups like. What kind of media institution might distribute your magazine or your media product, and why? My magazine is not a specialist magazine, just an ordinary pop magazine. I can see it being distributed in many mainstream shops such as Tesco's, HMV, WH Smith, any small newsagents or convenience stores. As it is a mainstream magazine featuring mainstream artists like its competitor Top of the Pops, I would suggest it will be distributed in a similar way. There is a specific audience, but there is a lack of magazines of this type, so I feel that easily find a place on the shelf of any magazine selling store. I would also consider distributing my magazine online using smaller distributors such as Bauer or IPC. Who would be the audience for your media product? The audience of my magazine would be females between the ages of 11 and 17, into pop music, like the latest gossip and celebrity updates, working to middle class, interested in listening to music genres such as smash hits, the Vox, TMF and the hits. I personally have aimed my magazine at young girls who are starting to develop an interest in music, who appreciate soft, fun and cheesy music. They will be very vulnerable, seeking an idol to copy music, fashion and persona. How did you address your audience? To get feedback on my magazine, I created a survey on SurveyMonkey. After analysing the results, I found that I had attracted and addressed my audience in a number of ways. 87.5% of the people who answered my survey thought that my magazine was excellent, and only 12.5% thought it was okay. Out of the people I asked, 50% of the people liked the style of my magazine the most, and 50% liked the text. 100% of the people I asked thought my genre of my magazine was pop, which is correct. 12.5% of the people I asked thought my magazine was aimed at 10 to 14-year-olds, and 87.5% thought it was aimed at 15 to 20-year-olds. 75% of the people I asked thought my front cover was the best, and the rest liked my double page spread. 75% said they will not change anything on my magazine. 100% of people said my magazine would not look out of place in a mainstream shops. Overall, I'm very happy about these results, and I feel I've met the needs and wants of my audience and have successfully attracted them to my product. I also feel I've been able to be successful due to the survey I have done early in the project, asking a potential audience what they would like to see in a magazine. They all wanted lots of images and exclusive interviews, which I've included in my project. What have you learned about technologies from the process of constructing this product? At the start of the project, I was very inexperienced in any sort of technology or media. but throughout this project I've learned how to do various types of things. I've never done a witness before, and I have really benefited. Photoshop, I've learned how to edit images at a high standard using curves, hue, saturation and contrast, using layers, text editing, Magic Wand tool, copying images, PS brushes, downloading brushes to Photoshop and then applying them in any colour, shape or size you want. PowerPoint, I've used a lot of PowerPoints and my skills have really improved. The font, I have learnt how to use the font and get hold of plenty of weird and wonderful fonts to use on your projects. Blogger, I've created my own blog, which I've never done before, and I've become confident using it. Issue, I've learnt to use for Word documentation issuing and allowing you to upload Word documents onto your blog. SlideShare, I have learnt to use SlideShare to turn your PowerPoint into a suitable form to be able to upload it to your blog by embed code. SurveyMonkey, I've learnt to create surveys, which has been great for pre-production research feedback. I've also learnt how to use technical equipment such as video recorders and high standard cameras. Let's notice an example. Looking back at your preliminary task, what would you feel you have learnt in progression from it to the full product? I've learnt to use Photoshop in a much more professional standard. I am now capable of working independently and just for fun. I have made an immense improvement overall as I was a Photoshop virgin. I have developed in my research skills, finding it easy to complete my research by PowerPoint or on SurveyMonkey to give the best possible start, as the research is the most important part. I feel altogether I have just progressed so much, and if I was to do the preliminary task again, I'd make various improvements or just start from scratch. I have learned a lot about the medium itself, and as I've never bought or seen a music magazine before this and picked up a video recorder, so it's been a huge long learning curve for me, which by the way I've thoroughly enjoyed. I also feel as if I have developed my own personal style of media work, which I never thought would happen.
Thanks very much. Can we have a look at your magazine again? Yeah, I think it's slide 1, isn't it? Look at slide 1. There you go. Just make that full screen for us. Can you make it full screen? Full screen. Next one. There you go. Brilliant. I'm really impressed by this. It's a really strong USP. It's a really strong identity. And I think in terms of branding, you know, what you said about the target audience or the market that it's aimed at is absolutely sort of spot on, to be honest with you, in terms of a pop magazine. Was it just your survey? I mean, what inspired you to do a pop magazine?
I don't know really, I just thought, I don't know, because I did my preliminary task and that was quite, I just had my own style with it, like it was a bit girly and a bit like popish like, and I just thought that was my strongest background really to do. But then when I asked people on my survey, they just, I don't know, I just wanted to do a female target audience sort of thing and just relate to people, because I feel that's my strongest one.
Great, okay. Thanks very much. Thank you.